mentors, you know, they say the village raises you.
Yeah, for sure.
It takes a village to raise you.
For sure.
I had some powerful mentors, man. And you know, I can go back. Well, our first black male teacher was Mr. Day. Mm-hmm. Mr. Day ripped up, looking like Herschel Walker. You know what I'm saying? You go in this class, all the clowniness stops.
Yeah, straight structure, bro.
Straight up, straight. Mr. Day was ripped. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yo, you're now prescribed with the realest, where we say the things your friends won't say and your man gonna lie about. It's your boy, Dewey Rice. I'm back, y'all. It's been wild. It's been wild in the world, been wild in the city, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get my mind right with everything. But I'm sitting here with two of my guys. I'm sitting here with my dad, I'm sitting here with Malcolm. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and say a little something about yourself. Just go ahead and give him a little intro to yourself. Go ahead. You can go. What's your name, bro?
I'm Dad.
Go ahead, Malcolm. Go ahead, bro.
He already said it. My name is Malcolm.
Yeah. All right. So look, I brought them here today because this episode is dropping on Father's Day, and they're both fathers. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm is married with 2 kids. My dad is what are you, bro?
Married with 4 kids.
My dad is married with 4 kids. You feel me? And so I brought them on. You know what I'm saying? 2 black men. 2 staples in the city. I just wanted them to speak on their journeys through fatherhood, and we're gonna dive a little deeper. But for now, we're gonna keep it light. So I'm sitting here with y'all. Y'all both African American men, black men. How is y'all's mental right now with everything going on? How is your mental state with everything going on, from the police brutality to the injustices? How are you feeling through this?
I'm tired, man. Honestly, because it's to the point now to where. All your white counterparts, coworkers, you know, they're trying to figure out what they can do to help. They're trying to ask questions, and it's like, for me, it's like, I know what it is to be black. I know what it is to be a black man in America.
For sure.
They don't know how traumatic that is. They don't know how draining it is. And for them to keep asking, it's like, I got to keep replaying the trauma. I got to keep replaying the fact that our lives don't seem to matter right now. So it's like, I'm tired of explaining myself.
Yeah.
I appreciate them asking, reaching out, but it's like, just like I read books and figured out our history, you can do the same.
For sure.
I'm tired, man.
And that's one thing I feel like people don't understand is, like, everybody gonna have an opinion.
Yeah.
But it's like, be mindful of what you're saying. Be mindful of what you like. I literally was I was at work, and I remember texting a group message. I was in work, and I walk in. It was during George Floyd's protest, and a white coworker was like, "I'm gonna be fine. Like, I'll be good. My husband don't want me to go to the protest, but I'm gonna be fine because I'm a white woman. It's not like I'm a black woman. I'm a white woman."
She said that?
Yeah, bro, I'm in there like, damn, I'm not black, dog.
Right.
Like, what is she thinking? But again, you got to be mindful of what you're saying. Like, everybody can have an opinion, but be mindful of what you're saying.
For sure.
So how you feeling?
I'm tired also, but I'm tired for a lot of different reasons. I'm really tired of how the media plays the whole situation.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know, as a black man, it's a lot of struggles that we are going through. We've always been going through. And that's the beauty of the black man, you know, the way we fight through the struggle, the way we rise.
For sure.
But the media is, for some reason, always want to put us against the white. It's anger. It's bringing out anger in everyone. And it's not really, to me, it's not really a solution.
Yeah.
You know, I can't dig in unless we have a solution.
Right.
You know, whether they're protesting, whatever it is, let's go ahead and get a plan.
Yep.
And a solution.
Okay.
And that's what I'm tired of. It's no pointing the finger.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking for my counterparts or my, you know, because they're just as confused as I am.
Right. And that's the thing. I couldn't be madder. I was mad. Don't get me wrong, but I couldn't be madder because I'm like, she's just ignorant.
Right.
You sound dumb as hell right now. But you feel me? I can't be mad at you. I'm not gonna waste my energy, but put my energy into trying to make you see different when if that's how you see it, that's how I can't make you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people we're trying to take our opinion and drive it into people to make them change. But people are gonna be who they are at the end of the day. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got anything else to say on it? You just tired.
I'm really, really tired.
Okay.
Because again, you know, we're pointing the finger. Are we pointing the finger at the wrong people? You know, let's take a step back. It's a saying that we always done. You know, as me, a coach with kids or whatever, when you have siblings and people, you know, it's a saying they always say, you can't help somebody until they help themselves.
Yep.
Facts.
So we're up here protesting, and we want something given to us from, you know what I'm saying, our counterparts, the Caucasian people and things of that nature. But are we really helping ourselves? You know, I'm tired of, we're not protesting and we're not marching like that for these inner city killings.
Okay.
We got to come together some way, because they're not going to take us serious until we take us serious.
Yeah.
That's true. That's love. That's love. All right. But so woof, that was deep. All right. So to anybody out there though who is struggling with it, I mean, there's so many outlets that you can take. And like for this podcast, we have uncomfortable conversations. So be willing to have uncomfortable conversations. But one thing, just don't try to drive somebody else's thought on them. Don't try to drive your thought on somebody else. So we just wanted to get that started to see where y'all's mental was. But since we're talking about Father's Day, Stephanie gave me a movie to watch, which I've seen it before, Boyz N The Hood. So I told y'all, prepping for the episode, I want y'all to watch Boyz N The Hood because we are going to talk about it today. So Boyz N The Hood came out in 1991, you know what I'm saying? And it was a really powerful, very, very powerful movie, but it was filmed years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like years ago. And it talked about and touched on things that's going on today. Yep. So because we're talking about fathers, where were y'all the first time y'all found out y'all was going to be a dad? And how did y'all feel? Walk me through that.
I was actually in church. I was in church. I was in a men's group.
Okay.
Which is funny because most of the men in there was husbands and dads.
Okay.
So just like being able to be around so many black dads. And I think it was maybe one or two white guys in there, but it was about 30 of them. And again, most of them was dads. I'm like, man, I can't wait till I be a dad. Like this is it, man. This is lit. This is love. Like think about all the black boys and black girls we're gonna be able to change. Yeah. Think about how many trajectories we're gonna be able to change by being present.
Right.
And my wife texted me. I was sitting on the couch in church. Yeah. In the men's group, and she texted me. I didn't even look. I knew what it was.
You knew what was going down?
Because we had went out a couple nights before, and
you did what you had to do.
I knew what it was. But she texted me, and I was. I can't describe it. There were no words, but it felt amazing to know I was gonna be a dad. Man, I always wanted that. Ever since I was a kid, I couldn't wait till I was a husband and a dad. Okay. Just because my dad wasn't there when I was younger. We reconnected when I got older, but I needed that, man, when I was younger. So, as I grew up, I just couldn't wait. So when she texted me, I already knew what it was. She sent me the picture of the pregnancy test, and I was like, wow, like.
You was ready?
I was not ready. But I was excited. I was definitely excited.
For sure. Dad, go ahead. What's up? When you first found out, you feel me? I'm not the only child. I'm the oldest child. And so when you found out I was coming into this world, where was you at? Where was your head at?
I had about 5, 6 abortions. Anyway, at the time, let me be for real. I was in college. Okay. I was just really early in my early stages, going to college and playing basketball. Mm-hmm. I'm already 500, 600 miles away. It hit me by storm.
Where'd you at?
I was out in New York. Staten Island, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't understand what to do. My college coaches, they thought I was gonna leave college, come back. It just struck me. But one of the things that was able to bring me together was, and this goes with a lot of people now having kids, was I wasn't having a kid by like a one night stand or like somebody I just caught up with and was running. You know what I'm saying? It was it was with my girlfriend at the time, and it was like we had a sound foundation. Whether her mother, my grandmother, they was tough and tight together. So it wasn't. They was able to help me grow, to go ahead and rebound, to understand what has just happened. Right. And to have that strong foundation, it just helped me flow, helped me be able to stay in college, helped me to do some things while learning on the way. It was a tough tough experience, but I was excited. I was able to stay excited because I had the foundation. People don't understand that.
Yeah, for sure.
And just at first I was like, wow, but the fact that it was a girlfriend and somebody that whether you fight, whether you claw, cuss each other out or whatever, we had a bond. So it wasn't that's what people need to. Nowadays, a lot of people are having kids with people they don't have a bond with. Yeah. Right. And that's why all that negativity and all that running down and disrespect is happening
Yeah.
because you don't have a bond. Like, at least be a friend.
Yep.
At least bare minimum, like you feel me? Can we at least text each other and be cool? Like you feel me? Right. I don't want to hate you, right?
Right.
So what age were you? You say you were in college. What age?
19 when you were born.
19?
19 when my son was
you
born.
found out like
when I was 18.
Okay.
18 and I'm 18.
I was 21 when my son.
21. So y'all were both fairly young
Yeah.
dads, right?
Yeah.
So through the journey, so let's go ahead. What does father or fatherhood mean to y'all?
That's heavy, and I really can't say. I don't really have the whole perspective yet because my kids are still young.
Right.
But to me, thus far, I would say if I can put it into one word, it would just be selfless.
Okay.
Because it's like,
I like that.
to me now, it's like I can't make any decision for myself anymore, and not to say that in a bad way, but it's like I gotta consider how is this gonna affect my wife, how is it gonna affect my kids. So to me, everything has to be. It's got to be selfless in a good way because it's not. I'm not missing on anything.
Right.
Really, I feel like I'll get more out of put more into my family, to my kids.
I like that. Okay.
So that's what I would say as of now. Maybe that'll change over the next 10, 15
Right.
years. Now it's selfless.
Selfless. Okay.
I can break it down. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's selfless.
Okay.
But the father is so deep. It's so huge. Because your kids are watching you.
Yeah.
Any kids,
Right.
you're watching you. You have to lead by example.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent. So
Right.
you'll have to find ways to apologize. To be, you can't have your ego in with your kids. A lot of times people can get in arguments
Yeah.
and they can ignore, them
Facts.
people. But with your kids, if you're the leader and you're the father, you got to find a way. You got to find a way for communication. You got to find a way to break it down where everybody can understand. You got to be the leader.
Yeah.
You have to be if you never was a leader.
Yeah.
And the thing about, as you were saying in the first segment, being a black man, and one of the terrible things with our community is how our mother-father situation is ripped up.
Yeah. It's
So
families.
we didn't. Myself personally didn't have no blueprint, no playbook. So everything I'm doing is straight off the fly.
Yep.
So when you're going off the fly, I think the most thing you just make sure your heart is in it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your heart is in it. If your heart is in it, I mean, you're gonna make mistakes in everything in life.
Facts.
But if your heart is in it, you're doing it for the right reason.
For sure.
Facts.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and so you both have stated, like you said, I know that your dad wasn't around, and you said your dad wasn't around until later on in life.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that has impacted you on your journey of fatherhood? You say your oldest child is 2.
Yeah.
And then I'm your oldest, 26. How has it impacted you having a father figure, or not having a father figure there? But I'm really speaking to, how do you think a father figure or a man or having a dad in the household, how do you think that changes somebody's life? Like, what you say you didn't have a blueprint, but what do you mean by that?
You know what? I had a player of mine, a kid that's on one of my teams right now. Just yesterday, he texted me last night, coach, and it was about father, and I already know where he's going. Somebody was teasing him
Okay.
because his father makes him work for his wants. He buys him what he needs,
Okay.
but he makes him work. Like if he wants some Jordans,
You
gotta
gotta
come out here and work for it.
Yep.
Where the kid was teasing him, his father must gift him up, give him up some gifts. So he was asking me, like, Coach, is that wrong? Is that wrong that my dad, how would you feel about that? And I just told him, I said, no, your dad is teaching you to become a man.
Facts.
I said, you can have, ain't nothing wrong with gifts. But at the, through the process, you want your son to work for it.
Yeah.
Your son,
Yeah.
you want your son to be strong because ain't nobody giving you anything. So
Right.
I told him, I said, and I asked him, I said, all you gotta do is look at our basketball practices. And you could tell by the kids who are being gifted and who has to work. And he's one of my hardest workers.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, and,
That
you know
does
what
make
I'm saying?
a lot of sense.
So dad is showing,
preparing them.
them
For sure.
how you got to go after this.
Yep.
You're never going to be that with that attitude because his dad had to work.
Yep.
With that attitude, you're never going to have to lean on nobody or want nobody.
That's facts.
And that's pretty much what I would say as well. Like that example, like you got somebody to teach you.
Yep.
And one of my mentors a couple years ago told me, people, you can learn things 2 ways. You can learn by situation or you can learn by revelation.
Yep.
So situation, where you actually got to go through yourself. Revelation could be you learn from somebody else that went through the situation.
For sure.
So it's like without my dad in the picture growing up, it's like I had to learn everything on my own. So where if I had him there, he could have told me some of the stuff that he went through, so I wouldn't have to go through myself. So just having that reference of like, man, what do I do?
Yeah,
like,
facts.
am I supposed to work right now? Like, should I go to school or should I focus on getting a job, trying to pay bills. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like you got to figure out those decisions on your own to where if you had that somebody that's already been through it, he can just be there to kind of guide you.
Mm-hmm. And like you just said, I was gonna say the word guidance. I think that having a father there, it just helps guide you. Now, I know that everybody makes mistakes, and everybody has to learn. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are both young. You have to learn. But one thing that stuck out in Boyz N The Hood was the fact that he was acting up in school, and his mom sent him to live with his dad.
Yeah.
And she said, and he was sad about it. You feel me? On the way there, he was super sad. But she basically said he's going to teach you how to be a man. Like, and it was crazy because I never peeped that they signed a contract. So she told him, this is the decision you making is going to be your consequence. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the choices you make is going to be a consequence, and his consequence was going to live with his dad. And when he got there, even when the first day there, they was talking about you got chores. It was structure, right? And his dad was pretty much like, I'm bringing you structure in your life. And it's just crazy. We're going to talk about it throughout the episode, but it was just crazy because for me, my mom, I think I was in 8th grade. So I used to go to my dad's house every other weekend, but in 8th grade, I used to run with some females, and my mom was not having it, right? She was not having it at all. So that summer, she sent me to stay with my dad, and I could not come home. But it was just crazy watching, and I was like, that's so powerful that the mom, she took it upon herself to be like, I can't do it no more. And you don't see that sometimes. A lot of moms out here think that they can do it themselves, and then we have people in the world that's messed up. Not that she knows, but in the same time, it's like the fact that that same thing happened to me. I was like, wow, that shit is so deep. Like it's just crazy to me. So how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel?
That mother,
that
mother in that show was the MVP.
That was deep, right?
That was MVP. That was the mother putting her child before. All the differences she had with that man didn't matter.
Yes.
She knew that man was a man, and she was going to make that son become the right man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Not through her boyfriend, not through her brother. Your dad. And he sent him to the dad. I was big by the mom, man. That was one of the biggest parts of the movie that I liked because, like I said, any man that don't want to take on that responsibility of their kid coming to him, then that's when you show. That's when you show you wasn't ready for this, Dad. You know what I'm saying? You got to come up, like you just said. Can you imagine how selfless you have to be then? Here, mom gone.
I'm here now.
Mom,
exactly.
Mom gone. You got to get the food. You got to make sure he fed. You got to make sure he bathed. You got to make all that. You know what I'm saying? So that was huge. I love that part.
And I don't even know if the message, I'm pretty sure there was multiple messages when they was writing the movie, but the strong message was just to see Trey go through life. Even when Doughboy came home, he was super clean. He the only one that came super clean to this cookout. And I'm like, that's crazy because he been under his dad's wing, right? And it showed, right? It showed how polished he was.
The difference between him and the guys who didn't have dad.
Exactly.
See the movie?
His dad said it though. His dad said, just watch. Watch how they turn out.
Exactly. And I'm watching it like, wow, this is so deep because I just think that it's important for people to know that even if, and then that's another thing too I want to speak on, even if you don't have a father in your life, there's also somebody that you can look up to as a mentor or a father figure. So who would be a mentor or father figure to you all? Because you both said y'all didn't really have fathers in your life.
I always play sports coming up. So at times there would never be one man in particular. But mostly I played football growing up, so I had my coach. My coach always somebody I can lean on. When I played little league football, I played with my cousin, so I was already close with them anyway. So I had them, and then as I got through high school, got through middle school, my brother was joining. He's about joining the Alphas. And I think it was a program called the Alpha Esquires. And the guy who led that, he just kind of clung to both me and my brother, and just let us know like I'm here, like I'm open. He came to the crib. He called us all the time, so he just wanted to let us know he was there, he was available. Just because he knew we didn't have it. And then I think it was my freshman year, my dad came back and we reconnected on that note. So he became available at that point. But it was always somebody, always a mentor, always somebody there available. And I think that's the power of sports alone. It just kind of gives some kids some structure who don't have it. Aside from all the other things you can learn from sports.
That's true.
Well, I'm gonna take a little second to shout mine out because mentors, they say the village raises you.
Yeah, for sure.
It takes a village to raise you.
It takes a village, for sure.
I had some powerful mentors, man. And I can go back. Well, our first black male teacher was Mr. Day. Mr. Day ripped up, looking like Herschel Walker. Everybody know Mr. Day, bro. You know what I'm saying? You go in this class, all the clowniness stops.
Yeah, straight structure, bro.
Straight up structure. Straight Mr. Day was ripped. You know what I'm saying? So then we got, man, list goes on. I had Frankie Patterson. He was heavy in my thing. Yeah. John Little, because I was at the recreation center. The recreation centers raised me. Yeah. I remember from like, when you're young, under 12, you're supposed to be leaving at 6. But John Little and them would take me home. John Little, Keith Neal. I had Mr. Lindsay. Oh, man. Then, you know, basketball, was, like you said, sports. I got with the Boys Club and Nate Mitchell. Another just dictatorship type, rah, you better have your act as soon as you walk in the gym. Yep. You see what I'm saying?
You better have it together.
You got to have it together. And, you know, my grandmother at the time was raising me. She wasn't raising no punk. And I couldn't come home and say, he yelled at me. Yeah. Right. And then she go say something. You know? She wasn't caring about none of that. Yeah. You know? She didn't care about it. So just with all those different mentors pulling the leg, and then my high school coach, Mr. Pinnell, was just a whole nother, you know, he the one first talked about, he taught me about the handshake rule. You look the man in the eye.
Hold steady, hold strong.
My high school coach, he taught me all that. And I was nice in hoop, but he challenged me in ways you wouldn't know. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? My very first, like I said, I started my freshman year, and I didn't get to play all my games. I had my last game of the year. I had to sit out because me and one of my best friends cut school. We cut school. We think we doing it heavy. Yeah. Right? Come home around out of school time, 3:15. Walk in the front room. It's Mr. Pinnell, my grandmother, and his mom in the front room.
You like, hold up, dog.
Bro, hold on. How does this happen right now? We get out of school. How'd y'all catch me? They're here waiting for us. Right. Like they know the game. Mr. Pinnell say, boom. Okay. That was that time. Yeah. I leave college. This is the greatest story ever. Your grandmother will tell you. Freshman year, I'm in college, bro. Things ain't going right. I'm real disappointed right now.
They benching you and shit.
I don't know about no benching. But you know what I'm saying? I was nice with them, as you were saying. Didn't prepare me for not getting my way. I was supposed to get my way. Yeah. So what I did was, now like a father, I run home. I sneak to the crib. New York, I done flew home, got me a flight. I tell the women, Grandma, I'm allowed to be home.
You're lying.
Downstairs.
They found out.
Found out wasn't the word. I'm downstairs in the basement. I'm downstairs in the basement kicking and chilling like. You know what I'm saying? So my college coach called my high school coach because he know our relationship. Man. High school coach, he said, I don't know where Tony at. High school coach called your grandma. Yeah. She's like, he downstairs. Wow. He on the phone. It's like 10 a.m. Yeah. What you doing?
It's your high school coach?
Like 2 p.m. I was back in New York.
Wow.
You was like, you had to go back. He wasn't playing no games with you. Yeah. He wasn't playing no games.
I'm back in New York at 2 o'clock, bro. Down every day. I hang up the phone, bags. She wasn't playing. Once the cat was out the bag, it was all back.
They wasn't playing with you.
It's over.
But one thing you said though, it brought structure though. Your coach brought structure. And like you just said with sports, I think that's a big thing. I feel like for men, and not even for men and women, but especially for men, I think that playing sports really helps. And you know how mental health is really big now with us. Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't really that big back in the day, was it? Did y'all really speak on it? Like you were just angry. Like you didn't have anxiety, depression, things like that. You were just angry.
Speak on it,
yeah.
It was there.
It was definitely there though. But I think sports allow us, because I know I play basketball. You say you play football, and you play basketball. I think it still gave some structure, and like you both said, there were mentors in the sports that you were playing. That's something that you loved. You know what I'm saying? So another thing I want to touch on is, so in the movie, Trey was talking to his dad. He was getting his hair cut, and he was talking about that conversation about sex. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know. I used to think that he actually did it when he said it. Yeah. He lied. You feel me? He was lying. He glamorized his whole story. And I think it just goes to show when we talk about, because I've been seeing it a lot on social media and stuff, toxic masculinity, right? Yeah. And you wanna look buff, strong, and almighty in front of your dad and in front of your counterparts and in front of your mentors. How do you think that's affected us today? like the toxic masculinity, the trying to be the hard masculinity, right?
Yeah.
And you wanna look buff, strong, and almighty in front of your dad and in front of your counterparts and in front of your mentors. How do you think that's affected us today? Like the toxic masculinity, the trying to be the hardest, trying to be the biggest guy in the room. Like, how do you think that's hurt us as black men, as men today?
I think that's really a question for. I think who we should be asking is how has it affected the women? Because I think they're the ones who gotta really.
Okay.
They gotta take the effects of it. You know what I mean? Like we put on the show for each other, but it's like at the end of the day, they're the ones who are affected the most.
Okay.
But just to answer the question, I feel like it's just created a lot of confusion, man. Because I used to do the same thing we all did. I mean, that's kind of what. Especially if you don't have a dad there, it's kind of what you see through the media, what you see through TV, what you see through movies. Mm-hmm. So I try to put on that front too when I was in middle school, when I was in high school. It just wasn't me, man. Like, so I'll be fronting for my boys. Yeah, I was messing with her, did that. And I come home like, damn, I don't think I heard nothing.
I just straight up lie. You lying to your dick. Like, yeah.
Straight up lie. So at the end of the day, it's like, man, that's not me.
Yeah.
That's not me at all. So, I just I found that out early, man. I think I was maybe 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah.
It just wasn't me, man. I tried it.
Right.
And I just like, it's not me. It's not what I want.
Yeah.
And I met my wife in my junior year of high school.
Okay.
And I was like, man, this is it. This is gonna be me.
Okay.
This is what I want. This is who I am. I'm not about to front. I think once I let that be my truth and just kind of walked in that.
For sure.
People was cool with it. Like people already knew. Like Malcolm he ain't on that.
Yeah.
Like he don't be messing with a bunch of females. He just be chilling. He be cool with his girl, and that's just kind of what I've been in the last 7-8 years. So I think more people really need to focus on themselves. Like, look in the mirror, find out who you are. Stop listening to who everybody else wants you to be.
Yeah.
Stay off of the social media in regards to trying to find your identity. Like you don't have to look nowhere else to find your identity. Just look at yourself.
Absolutely. And I think that's hard.
It is
especially
hard.
for people in our day and age, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you don't have a mentor, you don't have somebody that can give you a blueprint. Yeah. It's hard to find yourself out here because there's so much going on. It's so, like you said, there's so much in the media. So what you think?
I mean, I agree. It's a setup.
Yeah.
I'm coming at a different perspective than him.
Okay.
When he's coming as the masculine, when your dad isn't there, those are pieces which you didn't get that conversation.
Right.
Yeah. So you coming out with a phony blueprint anyway. You coming out
exactly.
Trying to be you want to be an introvert or something so you can miss all of them waves.
Right.
And if you're not, you're gonna catch them waves and try to be something that you're not.
Yeah,
so whereas your dad could slow you down because he's seen it.
Yeah,
regardless of what kind of person your dad was when he was in school or coming up.
Yeah.
He could have been the nerd.
Yeah.
He could have been the man. He could whatever he was. He was able to watch and envision how you should have been.
Yeah.
So therefore, with that being said, I just believe that masculinity, as he came around with not lying on so much my part.
Yeah.
My part was necessary more like disrespecting young women.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Because of not having that polish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With that polish, you ain't got to do. Even though,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Once you got what you wanted, or once, even though she liked you, you may not want it, but you just disrespecting them, calling out their name. That was a piece where I look back at that I didn't like about myself.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because it was really a defensive mechanism.
I was about to say, do you think it was the defensive mechanism on everything that was going on?
With me.
No, I'm saying everything that's going on with you.
Yeah, it's a defensive
and you ain't know how to
mechanism.
identify it.
And I ain't know how to identify it. So I'm thinking I'm the hooper. You know what I'm saying? If she ain't, not necessarily that she didn't want to mess with me, talk to me, she ain't had to. You know what I mean? You give me some lip, I'm gonna give you some lip. Instead of whereas I didn't use my position as one of the better basketball players, I could have used my position with more confidence, with some polish, to bring her along, as you were just saying. And, you know what I'm saying? Help her understand.
Yeah.
Because as you stated, which was heavy, was, you know, we always, at masculinity, we always never look at what we put that woman through. You know,
that's facts.
If we're that leader,
and
we are. If you ever look at the leader, if you ever look at a relationship scope, if the man is really the leader, if he drinks, she drinks. If he smokes weed, she may not become the weed smoker he is, but she will try smoking weed. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we need to channel that power.
Yeah.
And deliver it in a different way. But it takes the father, that man, giving that game.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's facts.
That's the polish.
That's facts.
And then you walk out, and because you have polish, people look at you different now. Like, he's stuck up. Because I got polish, because I ain't sagging.
Yep.
And that's how they did him in the movie. That's how they was doing Trey. Like, Doughboy and them was looking at him like, nigga, like, even when they was going to shoot, kill the nigga that killed his brother, kill Ricky, right? He like, let me out. Doughboy ignoring him for the first part. Like, he ain't really gonna let him out. And he like, nah, for real, let me out. And the fact that he was able to stand up on his own two. And the reason why he was able to stand up on his own 2 feet,
you know why?
was because of his dad.
He heard his dad in the back
told
of his
him.
head the whole time.
The whole time he heard him in the back of his
daddy,
head.
but what?
Dad
I
was
gotta
sitting at
answer my
home.
dad. I ain't gotta forget these tactical guns.
Facts.
My dad.
Right.
I'm gonna let my dad down.
Facts, exactly. And that stuck with him because of how he was raised.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we talking about fathers and fatherhood. What have been y'all's biggest struggles being a father? Go ahead.
Listen, the biggest struggle is coming out.
Let's hear it.
Coming out. I had this talk with you before.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
see what I'm saying with somebody when you was giving me some game, let me know A plus B, you wanted to have a baby. Being a father, man, is heavy, especially if your finance game ain't right.
Absolutely.
It's a heavy struggle.
Absolutely.
Because again, people don't understand where you coming from. You could be working the hardest ever. If you with the wrong woman, she gonna shoot you down because your finance game ain't right.
Yeah.
So my advice to people is, especially if you get past that wave, that 18 to 23 wave of not having no kids, wait until you get your financial game right.
No, for sure.
And then that struggle, it'll be so much easier on you, on
absolutely.
your mental, on your woman.
Yeah.
It'll be so much easier.
I always say that, bro. Like,
You see what I'm saying?
I don't got no money to have. Like, I've had women be like, I'm ready for a kid. Baby, I don't got no money for a kid. Like, dog, I don't want to be out here struggling like that.
You don't want to be out here struggling because as the man, your life is going as you know it. And what I mean by that is, the very first time you don't do what she wants you to do,
It's a wrap.
you ain't shit of a dad.
Yeah.
You ain't got no milk. She go dead at your neck, bro. You right around here.
That's true.
You might have to go pick up a bag or
Facts.
you say a sack of weed or something, start moving it. Moving units. You have y'all here going crazy.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be that way.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Facts.
See what I'm saying? Especially, again, if you have the father in your world, he polishes all that up.
Yes.
That's a good point. I will say, fortunately, that I wouldn't say. I mean, the money's always gonna be an issue just because kids are expensive. Like we pay like $1,100-1,200 a month just for daycare. So it's like, man, it's a lot of bread. It's a lot of bread.
Moment of silence for that.
Bro, you feel me? Like,
People don't understand.
That's my paycheck, I think.
Most of the people got that Title 20.
That's tough, right? Luckily, me and my wife both been working in finance since we was 18. So it's like I get the money thing. Not that we got a bunch of bread. It's like we know what to do with our money. So I would say the biggest struggle for me was putting myself in a position to be selfless. Because having a kid at 21, you don't really get to experience adulthood.
I'm about to say that.
So it's like, and it was just the circumstances that came up to where we went to the doctor. And it was pretty much like you either gonna have kids now or run the risk of not having kids at all.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, yeah, I want kids, so let's make it happen.
Right.
So I didn't have really a lot of time to prepare myself mentally to be a dad. Let alone the money, that came with it. But getting myself in a position to where, like you said, I mean, your life ain't your own no more. So I can recall one time my oldest son was born in October, and it was day after Christmas. We went to the outlet mall. Like, man, we got a little bit of bread. Let's go shopping.
Right.
And we went all the way up to Sunbury. We was living in Black Lake, so it was a good 45 to an hour drive. So I'm like, we're gonna be here for a minute. Like, I'm ready to shop. We go in the first store, and my son just cutting up. Like, he won't stop crying. And I was like, I haven't even grabbed nothing off the racks. I'm like, we drove an hour up here, and I can't even. We got in the car and went back home. And I was pissed off. I ain't gonna lie, I was pissed off. I was mad.
Yeah.
And me and my wife talked the next day, and she was like, you gotta wrap your mind around this, because like this is it. And for women, it's a little easier transitioning to that selflessness because they lose their bodies from day one. So it's like they already start to understand being selfless after carrying the baby for 9 months. We don't really get that as dads. It's like when the baby comes, like now you gotta turn it on. I didn't know how to turn it on, but at that moment, the day after we left the mall, I'm like, man, this is gonna be a ride. Like my time ain't my own no more. My life ain't my own. My money's not my own. And that was hard for me because I never really got to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as I got my first real job, I'm making a little bit of bread. Then we got daycare, we got diapers, we got kids. Like, nah.
Yeah, stuff to do.
Can I get some J's? Like, I need some new shoes.
Yeah.
And again, looking back, that stuff's not important. But it's like just transitioning to that mindset.
I'm about to say that mindset and that view of thinking like, damn, it's really not about me. That reality sits in.
Not. So that's been my personal biggest struggle. And it's still something I still kind of battle with because now that I got 2 kids, like I got even less of my time. So when I get a little bit, I try to keep it.
For sure.
At any moment, it's gone. Like so,
yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. And so you spoke about your wife. You said my mom, you was a girlfriend at the time. How do you think the relationship with the person that you have a baby with, so the woman that you have a baby with, how do you think that impacts fatherhood or even the relationship that you have with your child?
I think that's when it comes to being a parent, that's literally the biggest decision that you will make regardless. And my uncle, he's a principal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was a principal in high school, so he talked to kids a lot. He did a lot of mentoring.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to my wife's graduation, she graduated from Gahanna, and he was a principal at the time.
Yeah.
He gave his commencement speech, and he said 90% of your happiness comes from what you decide to do for work and who you decide to spend the rest of your life with. So when it comes to fatherhood, that partner is everything. Like, she either gonna make you or break you. And not that she's solely responsible, but it's like you got a lot of work you got to do within yourself, and it's either she's gonna aid in that or she's gonna be your demise.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's everything.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and you said not that she's responsible, but sometimes when you have a child with them, and you want to do what's right for your kid, she can be held responsible for some of the things that happen.
Sure.
So how do you feel about that?
I just believe.
Oh God. What, bro? Say it. Speak up. What's up?
Commercialize it. I just believe that honestly, the person that you got a kid with, child with, as I stated earlier, you need to have a friendship type of bond.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
At the minimum.
For sure, at the minimum. Where y'all good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have an investment.
Right.
If a man can invest in her and you invest in each other,
Right.
then the process should go a lot smoother. It should go.
Well, I think that's why it was so easy for Trey to move with his dad was because the mom took her hat off to him. You know what I'm saying? They had a conversation at the coffee place when he got older. But I'm saying in the car, she like, you gotta do your thing. You're the man. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, when you're able to at least have a friendship or at least either she has the outlook on I want what's best for my child. It could always blend.
But that's both of their maturity level.
Yeah, absolutely.
They both gotta have a maturity level.
Absolutely.
Because for whatever reason, they didn't work out.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? He was a great father and a great man, but for whatever reason, they didn't work out. Whether he had extra activities he was doing, or whether she did.
Yep.
You got where I'm coming from? So, but as a man, she respected who he was.
Yep.
And that don't come without you having some investment in getting to know each other, not just jumping to that bed.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? Without the condom going raw, you know how y'all young cats do.
Well, I wear condoms, so I ain't even worried about it.
But that's heavy, man. I'm just, I've been fortunate, very fortunate and blessed through all the negative things, personal wise, that could happen with me with my children's mothers.
Facts.
I've been blessed to have some educated, clean cut, strong. You know what I'm saying? Ones that knew the right from wrong.
Yeah.
For mine, so I'm blessed.
Facts.
For real. Even though I done had the roads been bumpy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some terrain. I done had the 4-wheeler out going through there.
Hey, you stood 10 toes down.
I was still 10 toes down, but I done had some real good, some good foundations. I don't look back at the fact of without they strong. Even though we didn't disagree.
Facts.
Because I look at my kids. All my kids is strong. And it ain't just because of I'm breathing. I'm just part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you need all them pieces.
Yeah, and I think it's important, like even for me, like to know, like, because one thing I always say, like, I don't want my kids growing up in a broken household because I didn't really like going weekend after weekend. That's a lot. That's a lot on the kid. I don't think that parents see it that way because they're like, I'm spending my time.
Yeah.
But that can impact you so much. You know what I'm saying? And it impacts the relationship in the future too.
Yeah.
So one thing I always try to pride myself on is like, you know, God bless and I ain't had a kid yet, but I'm just saying I want to be able to have those conversations with the mother of my child. I want to be able to sit down where even if we don't work, because it's deep to me. Like, it's deep, you know what I'm saying? Because as a kid, you're thinking like, why aren't my parents together?
Yeah, man.
Why does my mom talk about my dad?
Yeah.
Why can't they sit and have a conversation on the phone?
Yeah.
Like that really impacts a kid in the future, bro. And that it's just really crazy. So when we're talking about that, what is one thing that you guys, I wouldn't even say a regret, but if you could tell yourself when you first found out you was having a child, what is one thing you would change?
You said
so
first found
out. Remember when you first found out you had a kid, your emotions and your feelings, right? So now you have a kid, you said 2 years old, and you're almost 1, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow actually, right?
Yeah.
So, and you have a 26-year-old. What is something that you would do different? If you could have told yourself, like, yo, you need to do this, what is one thing you would have done different on this journey of fatherhood?
That's a deep,
After
deep question.
finding out,
So I'm saying, no, you found out. I'm just saying the emotions that y'all had then.
Yeah.
Now you're a father. Now you're raising a 2-year-old. You're raising an almost 1-year-old. You're raising 26 older kids, younger kids. What is something you would have told yourself back then? Like if you had a blueprint, you had a dad. What is something you would have wanted to be told to you on fatherhood? Something that you learned that you had to struggle with. Something that was just new territory to you. What is something that you would have wanted them to tell you?
I would have wanted myself, personally, I would have wanted a blueprint and understanding a little bit more on how to communicate with, if we just talking about my first child's mother, with my first child's mother. So we could, I would have wanted the blueprint on the communication level a lot better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just, if I got to take 2 steps back, you know what I'm saying, or she got to take 2, whatever we needed to do to become one. Because as you just stated, I mean, preferably, if I could write down the perfect white picket fence,
right.
as you stated, you would love to be able to, raise your family in that home together, you know. But that starts back in what you were just talking about, everything that's going on in the world. Right. We 400 years behind, and people don't understand that. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
All that takes precedence.
It does.
You know, if we got the job and the finances where we can leave her home, and she working, she ain't gotta work. She ain't so quick. You know, the woman ain't so quick to move on. You know, they understand more, as people would say. You see what I'm saying? But and that's just her too. With her loss, because the women may not have dads either.
No, that's another thing too.
So
that's why fatherhood is so deep for a man and a woman.
For a man and a woman, because they teach you, fatherhood teach you patience. I truly believe that, you know, as a father, and women don't like to hear this, man, but it's, buddy, you don't get no real good credit being a good father. You shouldn't. We don't get no.
Oh yeah, she told him that on the movie. She was like, "You don't get no.
You're not special.
You're not special. You're doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
I mean, there's many that don't, but you're doing what you're supposed to do. And that shit was powerful when she said that. I'm like, damn.
And that, I had to look at myself like, damn, I guess I'm not special.
But we get tore down though.
No, for sure.
We get tore
For
down
sure. But she let him know quick, like, nigga, you ain't did nothing special that nobody else can do. I was like, damn, that's hella deep. But I think that she can even, like, now I'm gonna speak for her, but I'm thinking he made it to college. You know, Doughboy got killed, Ricky got killed, like, but her son was able to make milestones in his life, right? And so just to end off this episode, because y'all did really good, bro. Like, I really appreciate y'all coming on, talking about fatherhood. But just to end off, if you could give somebody a key, y'all didn't get a key, but if you could give somebody a key to fatherhood, that's an aspiring father, or he just found out, he listened to this episode, he just found out he might have a baby. What is one thing you would give him? A golden nugget that you would give this man on this journey?
That's deep. I mean, that's deep. I would say it's a lot, man. Like figure out your puzzle. Figure out what pieces are missing. Figure out what pieces you bring to the table. And give attention to the pieces that you have. Like use those, but also just start working on the pieces that you know are missing. And if you don't know what's missing, like take the time to find out. Because if you don't find out before the baby come, you definitely gonna find out after the baby come. Yeah. And it's gonna be a lot harder to do at that point. So if you know you got a baby on the way, or one kid is one day, you at least got 9 months. To prep it out. So just do some soul searching. Like get off of social media, put the remote down, put the TV down, pick up a book. You know, if you're spiritual, get in line with God. Like, open your Bible, or just have some conversation with somebody that can help you reflect. So whether it be a therapist or a woman, whatever, figure out what you bring to the table. Figure out what you can bring to the table in the future, and just work on that so that way you can be your best self for your kid.
I like that.
Me personally,
yeah.
I mean, it's two folds. Yeah. So I'm gonna give a lot of advice before the baby even thought about it.
Wear a condom? Or know who you fucking? What you want?
Know who you fucking is heavy.
Right.
You got to know that. You got to know that. They just be slanging around here. Just got to know because it's bad out here. You know when you said open up the Bible, man, they're way over there. They're way over there. They don't even know what the Bible look like right now with these kids. You know what I mean? Like so. I mean, my fault. I'm gonna speak to the women and I'm gonna speak to the man. Like, baby, come on now. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta sleep with him from the club because he got some fronts in his mouth and he's sagging. That's what your son. That's what. Like, wake up. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna talk to the woman. You gotta breathe. You know what I'm saying? Because the women shut down the stream. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? These men are clean up. Facts. Women don't understand the power that they hold. These men are clean up. Quit having babies by these.
Knuckleheads,
you know, Bible ain't no Bible. Yeah. He didn't even open the notebook. How is he getting some pussy? Right. You know what I'm saying? They thinking about, bro, they got the game all messed up with the prostitutes right now. Hit the store around with anybody. So
not the prostitutes.
I'm just saying, they take you, listen to the value of the game. It's $40 now. It's $40. Thanks. So I was just saying, the real key I give to the young man, is just, you about to embarking on something that you was having this big. Yeah. You about to have a little seed. Yeah. And you already know what a little girl do to a man.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. So you want that what you said about the piece about selfless, come to grips that you gotta pull your pants up.
About to say it.
And have focus. You know, focus, educate yourself. Never allow no one to tear you down. You know what I'm saying? Have heart. Do what you can as a father. We have a lot of people out here judging men on how the fatherism look to them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And that's one thing I think is important too. I ain't mean to cut you off, but everybody's gonna do it a different way. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no one way is the same. It's not the same being a father because every situation is different. Sure. But like you said, just being able to stand on your own too and be your best you because I mean. I can't even imagine, like, I've learned so much, I'm 26, I've learned so much at 26, but my life has been like this, you know, up and down, and y'all had kids. Right. I'm 26 with none, but y'all had kids trying to get through that journey, so that's definitely tough. And I think that we have to start taking our hat off to fathers because it's not always easy. And I think one thing we look at as men, we are supposed to have the answer. Yeah. But sometimes we just don't have the answers, bro.
Not that.
And I think it's okay to admit that.
It's a heck of a test.
It's a heck of a test, right?
Not that. You don't always have the answer. Most of the times you don't have the answer, especially, again, the finances behind, like you said, it's, you know, it starts off with if you're not able to make that situation happen with the mother. Yeah, facts. You know what I mean? Because always the father get the bun end of because you're the leader. Because it's your brain.
Fact. It's your brain. It is, yep. So when you're doing bad shit, you your dad's kid. Like you act like your dad.
Every time you do some bad shit, ain't that crazy? Your dad. Yep. When you doing good, oh that's my bad.
I'm the mom.
You doing bad, just like your dad.
You literally, bro, every time you get in trouble, you hear that. Like, you acting just like your daddy,
I know y'all young G's. Y'all can't say it to y'all's moms, right? Y'all can't say it to y'all's mom. I'm saying it to y'all since this is a real show.
Yeah, we talking real shit.
Y'all can't say this to y'all's mom. I be wanting to say it when I'm on the outside, like, Mom, damn, you hate that man that much. But you too, motherfucker. You hate that. I ain't doing it. I didn't ask to be here. Stop these games, man. Everybody
Okay. Right. All right.
Why you so mad, Mom?
No, that's facts. And I think, and even in the movie, bro, Doughboys and Your Mom, she was so bitter. You know what I'm saying? She was so bitter. And I think that impacted him. Because even at the end of the movie, he was like, she wanted Ricky, not me. But in the movie, they were saying, like, it was because she fucked with Ricky's dad and didn't fuck with his dad.
Exactly.
And so that impacted her relationship and her look on him. And that shit happens too.
That happens all the time.
Happens too. But again, the kids, we didn't ask for you to sleep with the nigga you slept with to get a baby. You feel me? Like, we didn't ask for that. So, yeah. If y'all haven't seen Boyz N The Hood, definitely tap into that. It spoke on police brutality, low-key, because of the Uncle Tom-ass cop that was in the movie.
That was hard to
It was
watch.
heavy.
It was heavy, right? Especially with everything we got going on now. So if you haven't watched it, bro, tap into it. It speaks a lot on fatherhood. It just shows you how, because one thing he definitely told him was like, he asked him, he said, are you a leader or a follower?
Yep.
And that hit me. Because I think one thing that I learned growing up, when my mom shipped me to my dad's for the summer and shit, was you don't gotta follow nobody. And that's why a lot of people think that I think I'm all that, or I think I'm better than, but it's just that I can walk in my own lane and not worry about whatever's going on. Whatever's going on around me, I don't want to be like you or you don't want to be me.
Yep.
And I think that was so powerful in the movie. So again, if you haven't checked out Boyz N The Hood, definitely check that out. But I got two fathers with me. I got some gifts for y'all. You feel me? I got some cards with some gift cards inside.
Hey.
I just want to say thank y'all for coming on. Come on, just bring it. I got it. So this is yours, bro. Thanks for coming. This is yours. I really do appreciate y'all coming on. I feel like a lot of men need to hear this. A lot of men, we have to come together too. Like, we don't just gotta come together to kick it. We gotta come together to have real ass conversations. To have conversations that, even if you say the wrong thing, sometimes we need to hear it from our boys. You know what I'm saying? So I really do appreciate y'all for coming on. I want to definitely plug both of y'all. So we can start with Malcolm. Tell us what you do or where to follow you at.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
you can follow me on IG, Malcolm.Marshall. That's really it. And my page is private because I don't want y'all niggas looking at but as long as you ain't on there fooling, I'll approve you. I'll follow you back. Yeah, we can chop on there. I'm an open book, so if you got any questions, feel free to hit me up.
For sure. And that.
Well, you know, I got my hands in a lot of things.
Okay.
I'm a coach. I work out at Briggs High School.
Yeah.
I got my own little podcast called Good Games.
Yep.
Sports driven, real life driven, and
Definitely check them out.
check it out. You know, I also train, and I try to get a good game to all my young fellas.
Facts.
All my young fellas. I want to leave y'all with one piece. That's my brother.
Yeah.
He gave me this game about fatherhood. And, we used to do this in college. We asked each other, you know, and said, my father was never around. His father was around. He say to me, we go back and forth. Our debate was, he say, and it was deep. Bro, I'm telling you, it's almost better to not have a father around than have a bad father around. That's heavy.
That's heavy.
And the reason I say this out here to a lot of you young fellas and people who gonna pay attention to this show, always understand that, you know, your seed is watching. So don't be a bad father.
Yeah.
If you got an argument or a debate or something with the mother, don't cuss her out. Don't put your hands on her. Don't do all those things in front of your kids, because that hurt the kids as they growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's toxic. You know, be the bigger man, walk away. I know, you know what I'm saying? We always got to be the bigger man, whether it's with the police, wherever it's at, the black man has to be the bigger man.
Yes.
So just get a hold of it and start now, especially if that's your kid's mother. You don't want to show them that type of side of you. You know, go breathe it off.
Yeah. And you got like what I really heard was you just want to lead. Just lead, bro. You know what I'm saying? Lead in whatever you're doing. Shout out to anybody that's listening to this. Shout out to both of you as fathers, as grown men, black men out here in this world. And this is Subscribe with the Realest, where we say the things your friends won't say and your man won't lie about. And we out.